experiencing some pains in your head, some migraines. So what I'm gonna do for you tonight is just perform some gentle touches and movements on your face to help you relax and to feel calm. Sometimes medication isn't the only and best way to make us feel better and alleviate our pain. While I'm doing these movements, I'll just talk to you calmly and gently about migraines and the different types that there are. A migraine is actually a neurological disease, and as you know, it's characterized by a reoccurrent, moderate to severe headache, and quite often it's in association with a number of autonomic nervous system symptoms. The word is actually derived from Greek. Now, typically headaches will affect one half of the head in a pulsating type manner. This could last up to 72 hours, or could just be short, like 2 hours. And for some people, associated symptoms may include things like nausea, vomiting, sensitivity to light or sounds, or even smells. And the pain is generally made worse by physical activity. Migraines are believed to be due to a mixture of environmental and genetic factors. And approximately 2/3 of cases actually come from family. So it runs in the family. Changing hormone levels could also play a role. Migraines usually affect more boys than girls before puberty, but about 2 or 3 times more for women than men after puberty. the risk of migraines usually decreases during pregnancy. But unfortunately, the exact mechanisms of migraines are unknown. But it is believed to be a neurovascular disorder. So, initial recommendation: for the management of migraines is a simple pain medication like ibuprofen, or acetaminophen as well. So that's both, if you're thinking about the brands, Tylenol and Advil. Just a little side note that no named brands of certain drugs like ibuprofen and acetaminophen and other cold type medicines, the ones that are cheaper, are exactly the same as the expensive Advils and Tylenols. They're made of the exact same things, at least in Canada. And that's the law. They have to be the same. But as you can imagine, a brand that you don't know, like a store brand, doesn't seem as safe as, say, Advil or Tylenol, but they are, by law, need to be made exactly of the same ingredients. And I've told people this before, and they didn't really believe me until they read an article or found it out for themselves. And then they came back to me and they were like, "Oh, you're right, yeah. It's just hard to change sometimes. Our ways of thinking, things that we've always known. I'm guilty of that also. Especially because, well, for example, I grew up drinking milk all the time. It's true, milk is good for your bones. Lots of calcium. And actually, calcium is better absorbed in the body when taken with vitamin D. It absorbs better. But, so I drank lots of milk, and I always, watched the commercials and heard how important it was to drink milk. And then I got older and found out that you don't really need to drink that much milk because the human body has trouble breaking it down. That's why there are a lot of people who are lactose intolerant, because back in the beginning, people didn't drink milk. It wasn't needed for the body, and can still be said to be that way now. But I still drink milk because I still feel like you need a little bit. And you need calcium, that's true. Milk isn't the only source where you can get that, but you know, it goes in coffee, cereals, tea. So if you hear any loud sounds, I do apologize. The people who live above our building are quite loud. They thump a lot. So I've tried to speak with them about that, because this is a business of relaxation and calm. So we'll have to perhaps change locations. We are thinking about changing locations somewhere else, because we are also on a busy street here, and there's lots of traffic, even with the windows closed, and even though we're tucked away in this corner, just can't avoid the sounds. So, some people who have migraines, they experience something called aura. And the most common auras are actually visual ones, like flickering lights, spots, or lines. Okay. You may see a little jagged line like that will develop some cross hatches, and it might sort of move into a curved direction, so zigzags and kind of curve it like that, yeah. And auras typically last between 5 minutes to a whole entire hour. Could be 1 hour, like that. Some patients have auras without a migraine type headache or any other types of headaches at all. mood changes can be a sign of migraines. Like I mentioned before with hormones, some patients will feel very depressed, or suddenly they just feel down for no reason. Others will feel very high and even euphoric. And there's been research done, like I mentioned earlier, that there could be a genetic link, but also not just with migraines in families, but a link between depression and migraines. Especially the aura type migraines. There's been research that suggests that severe depression can increase the risk of episodic migraines that can then become chronic. In addition, waking up tired or having trouble falling asleep are also common problems in people with migraines. There have been studies that show an association between the lack of restorative sleep and the frequency and intensity of migraines. So you need to get rest. Your body is trying to tell you you need to rest when you are having these severe migraines. When a migraine strikes, it's tough to get a good night's sleep. And a lot of people will have insomnia as a result of their migraine. This inability to sleep can be sort of a vicious cycle. And there's research to suggest that this lack of sleep can trigger those migraines. So, some people with migraines have sinus symptoms, okay? Such as a stuffy nose or clear nasal drainage, droopy eyelids, or tearing. There was a significantly large study done among people who complained of sinus headaches, and nearly 90% were having migraines. So that's also something to consider and think about. In addition, cravings is also something a bit related to migraines. Before a migraine attack occurs, some people crave certain foods. I can probably say I'm one of those people. A common craving is chocolate. So I don't find that to be a surprise at all. So, like I mentioned before, there could be throbbing pain on one side or both sides. And this pulsating pain is a classic sign of a migraine. Some people get eye pain. Migraine pain can often burrow into your eyes. And quite often people will blame it on eye strain, and many will get their eyes checked. But that won't work. That won't make the headache better. because it's nothing to do with your eyes. It's to do with your head, your headache pain. Neck pain is also something associated with migraines. And even something like frequent urination. If you have to go pee a lot, that could mean a migraine might be coming. So it's one of the many symptoms people experience just before a migraine. These warning signs, also known as prodrome phase of migraine, can arrive as little as an hour or as much as 2 whole days before the head pain can actually start. So you need to pay attention to your body. What is your body telling you? What is it saying? You need to rest. You need to drink water. It's very important. A big reason why we get headaches is because we don't drink enough water and we're dehydrated. And it's not about drinking one whole bottle of water at one time. It's about consistently drinking water throughout the day. And I can tell you from actually doing this that it is true. The more water you drink throughout your day, the better you're going to feel, the less likely a headache is going to happen. Given that you are trying to get rest and you're eating healthy, eating an apple in the afternoon is also very good for you. It's better than reaching for the chips or the candies or juice, because juice is not good either. It's too much sugar and it sucks all of the water out of you, because there's really no water in those packaged juices unless you're juicing it yourself. So just really be aware of what you're putting in your body. If you're thirsty, drink water. And if you're not thirsty, drink water. Put a bottle beside your desk at work. Put a bottle beside you when you sleep. Have a bottle beside you when you're about to eat a meal. And drink water. I cannot stress the importance of drinking water. A huge part of the human body is made up of water. So you need to replenish that system. Just going to do a few more little touches here, and then you should be all set for now. And you go home, grab some water, lay in bed, and relax, okay? And if you are still feeling any pain, you can always request to come back, and I will fit you in as soon as possible. I will try my best to offer you some new tips, but I will always tell you one very important tip. That's right. Drink water. Very good. Okay. There we go. Have a good rest. Take care of yourself.